Welcome to AmeenAcademy.com. Let us do Ottoman Empire, some introduction. The story of Ottoman history is a complicated and complex one. It involves not only the Ottoman dynasty itself, but also the many people who operated and ruled the empire and were ruled by it. The Turks, the Arabs, the Serbs, the Greeks, the Armenians, the Jews, the Bulgars and Hungarians, and Albanians, and many others. It constitutes the history of the major religious group among the subjects, the Muslims, the Jews, and the Christians. It takes into account relations between the Ottomans and their neighbors in Europe and Asia, complicated stories of wars, conquest, diplomacy, and territorial losses that much later were called the Eastern questions. It includes the history of the political, administrative, and social institutions incorporated into this multinational, multicultural empire. It demands discussion of the rise and fall, the birth, the eff- effervescence, and decline of the empire. Now, let us discuss further detail about Ottoman Empire, some introduction. Ottoman Empire was a powerful Islamic dynasty that ruled over a large part of the Middle East, Eastern Europe, and North Africa for more than 600 years. The empire was founded in the early 1300 is by Osman Ghazi, a Turkish tribal leader who unified, inherited, and captured lands through the warfare and diplomacy. The term Ottoman comes from the Arabic version of Osman's name. The empire expanded through military campaigns, including the capture of Constantinople, present day Istanbul, in 1453 by Sultan Mahmud II. The empire reached its greatest size in the late 17th century. The government. The empire was an absolute monarchy with the Sultan holding absolute religious and political authority. The empire's administration was not well developed, and the Sultan had the right to legislate in civil laws as long as they did not conflict with the Sharia. The empire was replaced by the Turkish Republic and various successor states in 1922 after being defeated in World War I. Some other notable aspects of Ottoman Empire includes the empire cultural, political, and economic power peaked under the rule of Sultan Sulaiman I, Selim II, and Murad III. The empire was a source of great regional stability and security and was known for its achievements in the art, science, and religious and culture. The empire's military used gunpowder, which helped it expand across three continents. The empire public law was based on the Sharia, which also covered personal behavior and status. The Ottoman Empire was a multi ethnic, multi religious empire that lasted from the late 13th century to 1922. The origin. The empire was founded by Osman I, a nomadic Turkmen chief, is in western Anatolia, that is Asia Minor. The empire's name comes from the Arabic form of Osman's name, Osman. The expansion. The empire's first period was marked by almost continuous expansions, spreading from a small principality in Anatolia to cover most of southeastern Europe and Anatolia. Size. At its peak, the empire includes parts of Asia, Europe, and Africa, including Turkey, Egypt, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, Macedonia, Hungary, Palestinian, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, parts of Arabia, and much of coastal strips of North Africa. The empire began to decline after the Battle of Lepanto in 1571 when the Ottomans lost almost their entire navy. The empire was effectively finished off by the First World War and Balkan Wars. The legacy. The Ottoman Empire is considered one of the largest and longest lasting empire in the history. It is also considered as source of regional stability and security and important achievements in the arts, science, religion and culture. Now, some detail about Ottoman Empire history. Ottoman Empire was one of the most powerful empires in the history. It once spanned from Algeria to Iraq and from Bosnia to Egypt. It lasted for hundreds of years before collapsing in the aftermath of World War One. When was the Ottoman Empire founded? The Ottoman Empire owes to its rise to the decline of another empire, the Byzantium Empire, which claimed succession from the Great Roman Empire as the Turks, a Central Asian nomadic groups, fled their homeland in Central Asia. They came to settle in the Middle East. One Turkic tribe, the Seljuks, converted to Sunni Islam and conquered much of Persia. From there, they waged a successful war against the Byzantines, conquering much of the region of Anatolia. This opened the gateway of Turkic nomads to flow into Anatolia, which is the location of the modern nation of Turks. The Seljuk Empire gave control of Anatolia to many small Turkic beyliks or princes which pledged loyalty to the Seljuks. This environment provided an opportunity for ambitious leaders to expand their power. One such ambitious leader was Osman I. The Osman was able to attract many followers, expand his territory, and defeat the Byzantine Empire in battle. In 1299, he proclaimed himself Sultan, marking up the foundation of the Ottoman Empire. His descendants continued to expand their sultanate across vast swatches of territory. This empire was named Osmanli Devleti in Turkish from the name of their founder, or in English as the Ottoman Empire. Both Osman's successors and historians in the 20th centuries argued Osman was so successful because he was a Ghazi or holy warrior who united Muslims in a holy war against Christians. However, historical evidence points towards Osman's ability to make alliances and attract followers among the Christians and Muslims. Was the Ottoman Empire known? What was the Ottoman Empire known for? Ottoman Empire reached its peak in 16th century. At the time, it was one of the strongest empire in the world and a rival to the massive Habsburg Empire. Besides its military successes, it was also center of arts and science. Perhaps the greatest sultan was Suleiman the Magnificent, who expanded the empire throughout much of the Middle East and Europe, nearly captured Vienna, and instituted a significant legal reforms. The Ottoman military. The Ottoman army saw many military success, winning numerous battles against the Byzantine Empire and its other rivals. In 1453, the Ottomans sieged the Byzantine capital of Constantinople. Previous armies had never been able to conquer Constantinople because of its towering fortifications, but Sultan Mahmud II employed the new technology of gunpowder. Using massive cannons, he blasted through the city's wall. Constantinople soon became the most important city in the Ottoman Empire and is now known by the Turkish name Istanbul. The Ottoman Empire would also win control of the Mediterranean in the Battle of Preveza in 1538 and the Battle of Djerba in 1560. Even when European forces won the Battle of Lepanto in 1571, the Ottomans continued to be a major naval force. In 1683, the Ottomans even sieged the Austrian capital of Vienna through were defeated when Polish forces arrived to aid the Austrians. Central to the Ottoman army was its division system. The Sultan distrustful of the Turks who could rival his power. Instead, enslaved young Christians, men from conquered territories and the Balkans to serve as a Janissaries or slave soldiers in the army. While the Janissaries were a royal and fierce fighting force, they soon became the hereditary nobility that rivaled the Sultanate of power, art and science. As an empire that ruled over many cultures, Ottoman Empire was for centuries a constant cosmopolitan environment where arts and sciences flourished. Persian poetry was an important form of art, while an academy of Greek painters was created in the Sultan's palace. The sultans commissioned illuminated manuscripts, and Ottoman classical music developed as a sophisticated synthesis of many cultures' music. Ottoman Empire's the geography. At their peak, the Ottomans controlled a vast swath of territory. In the west, the Ottoman ruled over the northern parts of the Sahara Desert, where cities dotted the coast of the Mediterranean. To the south, Ottoman power stretched through Egypt and Sudan along the Nile River, while Ottoman ships patrolled the Red Sea out into the Indian Ocean. The deserts of Arabia also formed the southern edge of Ottoman territory. There, the holy cities of Mecca and Medina welcomed pilgrims from across the Muslim world. To the east, the Ottomans controlled the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, at times expanding into the Caucasus Mountains to the northeast. The center of the Ottoman Empire was Anatolia, where most Turkish migrants settled. The mountainous Balkan Peninsula of Europe formed the empire's northwestern border. Where wars were fought against the Austrians, the Ottoman capital city of Istanbul, conquered in 1453, sits on the straits between the Balkans and Anatolia. Besides the vast mosque of the Hagia Sophia, an important site in Istanbul, in Topkapi Palace, where sultans ruled. Modern countries that were part of the Ottoman Empire. Many modern countries hold territory once ruled by the Ottoman Empire. In North Africa, the Arabic countries of Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and Algeria were once held by the Ottomans. Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Kuwait, Lebanon, Jordan, and the Palestinian territories were also once part of the Ottoman Empire, while Israel was as well. To the north, Armenians were once ruled by the Ottomans. The island of Cyprus was as well. While the Europe, the countries of Greece, Albania, North Macedonia, Kosovo, Serbia, Montenegro, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and parts of the Ukraine were all ruled by the Ottoman Empire. Turkey, of course, formed the core of the empire. So far, we discussed about the introduction of Ottoman Empire. If you have done, please subscribe our YouTube channel.